say the goddess of justice is blind. Today, it seems she's bound and gagged as well. But what if justice could see what's going on in her name? Some crimes are punished, and some crimes are not. But what if corruption had such grim consequences that bankers too big to fail were arrested for breaking the law, and instead of jailing protesters, the human family simply enforced international human rights law and punished those responsible? What if the goddess of justice removed her blindfold, took a look around, and gave the human family a chance at real justice? What if human suffering finally had to answer to the conscience of humanity itself? And what if all this, rather than being an idealistic fantasy, was in fact a legally established reality about to manifest? Yes, there are international courts already in place. The International Court of Justice is for nations' claims against other nations. But if a bank or a government is violating your human rights, confiscating your savings, taking your home, banks blocking use of private funds is against international law. Invasion of privacy, violation of national sovereignty, torture, militarization of the police are all against international law and the U.S. Constitution as well. Until now, there has been no international court to which ordinary people could go for justice. Until now, these crimes have gone unpunished, and so they continue. The International Criminal Court tries war crimes, but with some curious exceptions. But for the victims of these crimes, protesters may gather in their millions, but history shows tyrants only understand one thing: arrest, prison, personal liability. The corrupt elite would like us to forget that they are breaking the law, laws based on ancient values shared by all cultures. The United Nations Charter was based on these values. But the corrupt elite forgot one thing: those human rights protections enshrined in international law. They think they are above the law. Their global courts are designed to give them a free hand to oppress humanity. They think no one has the power to bring them to justice. But they are wrong. You see, it turns out the goddess of justice isn't so blind after all. Little-noticed provisions of international law allow for the people to form an international court of human rights, with global jurisdiction and the power to enforce its judgments. Is it possible to lawfully create a real human rights court? A court not beholden to the elite but funded by the people, for the people? Solidly based on 70 years of international law? It's not only possible, it's already happening. A committed group of human rights advocates, lawyers, and judges have done years of work at their own cost to make it possible. A court for the people, to make peace possible, to make abundance possible. The foundation has been laid, jurisdiction has been established, enforcement mechanisms are in place, we are ready to move ahead. The only thing missing is you. Now, you can help change the course of history. Your support can empower a permanent institution of real social justice. This court is not funded by governments nor by shadowy interest groups, but must be funded by the people for the people. Humanity can join together to protect humanity. The rule of law, the possibility of healing, the arbitration court of international justice.